I'm a language teacher myself.
Okay.
And the reason I'm here on this platform is because I want to talk with my fellow teachers about teaching, basically. I've prepared a list with some questions and statements, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. You have 2 degrees in linguistics.
Correct.
Both applied and theoretical.
Opposite order, but yes.
Theoretical and applied, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So my first question is, what's the role of the language teacher, in your opinion, when we talk about adult learners?
Do you want my honest answer
Honest.
Entertainer. That's it.
Glorified babysitter.
No, maybe not babysitter. I don't want to demean the students, but definitely glorified placeholder for sure. Yeah, it's for me at least. It's entertainment. I know there are.
Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I know there are people who. I think the how shall I say, ESL community, if you will, takes itself way more seriously than it should. At the end of the day, what percentage of language is absorbed or self-taught, and what percentage is drilled into students' heads? I think you're going to find the latter is always much smaller, because that's just how things work. Gone are the days when teachers could put students' feet in buckets of ice water and make them learn Latin conjugation. That was different. If you could actually torture people, then you would see that they would learn very quickly. But we can't do that these days. We have to use these horrible books like English First and so on. And I really just don't think it amounts to much. I really think it's about entertainment.
Let me read something I came across recently. The role of the teacher, language teacher, or any teacher for that matter, is to teach the student how to become an independent learner, how to learn alone without a teacher.
Absolute twaddle. Yeah, no way. That first sentence almost reduces to how to become an independent, like a critical thinker. You can't teach people to be critical thinkers.
No, not thinking. How to learn alone. It's not about thinking.
Okay. No, I know, but there is an element.
There's a huge difference between becoming an independent learner and an independent thinker. To become an independent thinker, you have to have the knowledge first.
Okay. Well, if we just take independent learner, then.
So, what's your opinion?
I think it's a little closer to the mark in terms of what a language teacher can actually do for a student. And teaching them to be an independent learner is probably the best thing, because really, at the end of the day, if they're adults, then they have to do it at their own time.
Adults. I made sure I said adults, because it's a different story. How would you define language in the simplest possible way? What is language?
This is outside the wheelhouse of language teaching itself, isn't it? This is a bit farther afield. What is language itself? It's a system of verbal cues to acquire things from the environment and get other organisms to do things for you. For me, that's it. I'm a Darwinist.
Verbal cues.
I'm a Darwinist, so I take the most reductionist view possible, basically.
Okay, let me give you my definition.
Sure.
Language is a tool for acquiring knowledge, or language is a vehicle for knowledge.
Okay, but then what is knowledge for?
What is knowledge for?
Yeah, why do you need knowledge? Why is it necessary?
Why is knowledge necessary?
You can't just say, well, language is how we get knowledge, and not define why knowledge is useful, right?
Knowledge, science, it's useful. I don't think it needs proof. So language is a tool for acquiring knowledge, because most people, and I think you too, said that language is mainly for communication, the verbal representation of the world around us.
I didn't say just that. I said it's a series of verbal cues for acquiring things from the environment.
Yes. Yeah. To me, language is a tool for acquiring knowledge.
Okay. I think knowledge is one of those things to be gotten from the environment. towards survival and the advantage of the organism itself. That's my point. Knowledge is a commodity. Knowledge is a thing, a resource, like anything else, like light, like water, like food, like females, whatever. It's for the advancement of the organism itself, which finds it necessary, finds it useful. That is what I'm saying. Yeah. Just another commodity.
So to me, language equals knowledge. Language doesn't exist without knowledge.
Probably not. No, probably not.
So to me, there is a very simple explanation as to why language teaching doesn't work in a classroom setting.
Okay. I can't wait to hear.
Because there's no knowledge. It's as simple as that. Nobody goes into a classroom with the mindset of acquiring knowledge. They all focus on the language, and language without knowledge does not exist.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, you can, for example, they say gorillas, they chuckle. If you tickle them, they chuckle, right? They find it humorous in a stimulus response kind of way. But if you tell them a joke, of course, they won't understand the joke. So they can laugh, but they're not going to laugh at that level of cognitive scaffolding that we do.
Language is knowledge.
I think I'm trying to put what you said in context. Like you can try to dump English or language into someone's head, but if there's no desire or even capacity for learning, for knowledge,
no. Then... Again, no. I don't think you understand. You understood my point.
Okay.
We learn subjects like, say, chemistry, physics, biology, history through language. Mm-hmm. And we learn language through those subjects. So, in a way, physics is language, chemistry is language, marketing is language, and the other way around. Language is physics, language is marketing, language is biology. So,
absolutely.
Yes, language equals knowledge. Strip the language of the knowledge, and there is nothing. You get Chomsky's famous sentence, Carly's green ideas sleep furiously. There's no information, there is no knowledge in this sentence. It's all grammatical, it's all, beautiful, but means nothing. So when people go into a classroom, they're basically with the mindset of learning colorless, green, furiously, but there is no information. And without that information, knowledge, I use the word information and knowledge interchangeably, but I prefer the word knowledge because knowledge implies interest, focus.
Of course, yeah. And there's very rarely is there any actual interest. So
the way we acquire language, so basically language is like a byproduct. I say that speaking is a byproduct of knowledge acquisition.
Yeah, I for sure. I don't disagree with that. So if I can't disagree with something, that's all I'm going to say. I can't disagree. So
the reason I booked your lesson specifically is because of your background in linguistics. Sure. So I was kind of curious, what are you actually learning there? Teaching English as a second language. To me, it's not possible.
No, I agree.
It's not possible to teach language. Yeah, it's not possible to teach language.
Well, that's absolute bullshit. It's total bullshit. And every day that passes, I realize that more and more. I'm actually not in...
But do you understand why? Do you understand why?
I understand your theory about why, yes. For sure. I'm not entirely sure I agree with everything. I agree with the basics for sure. And I think that is... legitimately why. It's just not possible. Look, some people go away from it having learned a few concepts, but without something fundamentally different.
Okay, because when you say concepts, I guess you mean vocabulary and grammar.
That's all I mean.
Yeah. So to me, vocabulary and grammar are to a language what glossaries and footnotes are to a book.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But that's all it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, which one sticks. That's all you'll be able to get them to do. And even a week from then, I tried explaining, for example, present perfect present perfect, to these people with the timeline. Like, okay, why is this clause in the simple past? Why is this clause in the present perfect? Well, think of it like a timeline. This action happened in the distant past. This action happened in the recent past. I try to diagram it out, and no matter how much pain, no matter how much theory, no matter how many examples I throw at them, the next day it's not there. Of course.
Because there's no knowledge, there's no context, there's no information.
I know that going into it, but what choice do I have? They're paying me for 90 minutes, so I have to do something. So that's what I do.
I did that for 12 years, and I realized that it's
horrible. They're not into it for that. They're into it because of the equation, the simple equation: English equals better job equals more money. That's it.
Which is not true. That's another myth.
Not really, no.
That's not true. There are really millions of unemployed native speakers of English.
I'm one of them.
Everything you need to know about how to learn a foreign language, you can find in my book, Virtually Native, which is available on Amazon and virtuallynative.com. You have one life. Don't waste it.